Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. Today we will make this ring here, this ring thing. So let's start. Good, we start with an circle spline. Okay, this spline we make editable, so press C on your keyboard or here on this symbol. Now go in the point mode and select this point, and in the side view we see what we need and just drag it like, let's say, 170 centimeter. If you hold your shift key you can drag in increments of 10, so how you like it, so 150, 60, yeah, I do 170. Okay. And with the point selected, right click in the viewport and we need a hard interpolation. So we get this shape here. Then we need a second circle, a little behind, so let's say about 30, okay. And we make this one editable too, so C on your keyboard. Then we select both of them and we go from the intermediate points from adaptive to uniform, and I think one is here, okay. Let's see. Yeah, one is okay. Want it like this. The next step is we need a loft NURB here. Now select these two circles and drag it in the loft and we get this shape. In the loft NURBs we don't need any caps, so none. And we mesh subdivisions we need as less as possible, as few as possible. And the mesh subdivisions we need, so you see it the best here in the front view. Mesh at 9. With 9 we have a nice similar shape. Okay, this loft now we make editable, so we press C on your keyboard or here, and if you have seen my previous tutorials, every time I use this edit optimize script, you will find it again in the description, and you will find then everything in the description, every links you need, so these scripts, then the project file and the HDRI map for the texture then, and everything for lighting. You will find everything, every link you need in the description. So I press here on my edit optimize script, yes, and have everything editable. Next we need is the point mode. We need to select this point and this point. These are these 2 points here, and go in the scale mode, so here, and just scaling the x-axis until we reach these other points here. So it don't has to be exactly, so just eyeball it, that's okay. Next is we need these 2 points, so these are these outer 2 points here, and do the same. Go in the scale mode with T on your keyboard and do the same here, just like that. Okay, that's good so far. Nice. Next thing is we don't need this edge here. This yeah. So go in the edge mode, UL for loop selection, select this edge and then right click in the viewport and dissolve. So now we have this shape. Next thing is we select all polygons. So select one and press Ctrl A on your keyboard. Then D for extrude. And here we need caps. So check it on, and now we extrude them in a like, let's say 10 centimeter, about 10 centimeter or 15. Yes, let's say 15. Yeah, 15 should be okay. So the next thing is we go in our Fong tag here and activate it so it's not so ugly. The next thing we need is we need to select these two polygons, hold your Control key and just move in these polygons in the y-axis. Doesn't matter how far now here. And we want to have a flat surface here, so we go here in our coordinates and the size, the y size, we go to 0 and enter, and we have a nice flat surface. Go in the front view and we drag it down like let's say, so we have nice round numbers, let's say here to 215. Okay. Next thing is we go in the point mode, and here we only select visible elements, uncheck it. Select this point and this point. Shift on your keyboard to add selections. Okay, then T for scale, and now we want to scale it that we have here a straight line, so like this, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but something like this. Okay, now we have this shape here. Okay, good so far. And now if we drag this whole thing in a subdivision surface, so activate it and hold Alt on the keyboard and click on the subdivision surface, we get this here. That's not really that what we want, so deactivate it. The next thing is we need to select some edges. So select UL on your keyboard for a loop selection. So we need this edge, we need this inner edge and this one, and we need this one. Sorry. And now we need just, so hold Shift on your keyboard to add selection, this and this one. Okay. And this selection we will want to store, so set selection, we press, I have here a set selection in my toolbar, but you have it here too, so go to select and here set selection. So now our selection is stored. Okay, the next thing is, what we need now is yeah, I'll show you now why I do this. I want to bevel these things. I do it with the bevel deformer, but if you don't have the bevel deformer, you can do it with normal bevel with MS on your keyboard. You can do it the same. But if you do it with the bevel, with the normal bevel, you can't change things later on. So you should wait with beveling. If you have the bevel deformer, you can do it now. But I will do it like this, so if you don't have the deformer, you can work with me, and later on I'll use the deformer, but for you it doesn't matter. So the thing is, I want that you know how to do it without the deformer too. So the next is, yes, we need this one. Select it, and I for an inner extrude. And let's say we inner extrude this around 5 centimeter. Yeah. Here you have 5 centimeter. Next, if you double click your selection tag, you always will see what is in this selection tag. And now I see I don't want this new selection here. So I press UL on the keyboard in the edge mode, hold my control key and deselect this. And now with the activated selection tag, I again set the selection, so it's stored new. So if I double click it now, I have this selection what I need. Okay, next is we go to the polygon mode, and we again make an inner extrusion, so I on your keyboard. And now we extrude about 3 centimeter inner extrude. Yes, 3 centimeter is fine. Then UL for the loop selection, and we want to loop select this here. Then we need D for an extrusion, D on your keyboard, and here we extrude it. We create caps we don't need, so deactivate it, and an offset on -3 should be okay. Yes, that's fine. Next thing is we need some cuts. So we go in the knife tool with K on your keyboard, and we need a loop cut. This cut I make for if we activate then the subdivision surface, that we don't have such smooth edges, so we want little harder edges, and so sharper edges, and so I make some cuts here for sharper edges. So here a cut, and if as closer you come to this edge here, so the harder, the sharper the edge will be then with the subdivision surface. So I do it like this and this, so, and here one, and here down we need another. Okay, and here I forgot one. Okay, this should be okay. And now we go again to the polygon mode, select these 2 polygons and extrude it inner with I on your keyboard, but just a little bit, so just for this hard edge, so something like that. Okay. Sorry. Good. Now we double click our selection tag here, and now we add selections to this selection tag. So that means now we take the path selection. It's a selection tag. Here is somewhere the path selection, on your keyboard. You find it here as well, so select, and here you have the path selection. And hold Shift on your keyboard to add a selection. Go to this point here, Shift, and just drag it up along this path. That's why it's called path selection. Here the same, hold Shift on your keyboard. This is, we want to add this to our bevel, these selected edges. So here and here, And the same here. Whoops. And here. Okay. Here we don't need it because here we want a round shape, so we want a round thing here. Good. Now, because we have selected this selection tag, if we hit again set selection, we get a new selection stored. So just set selection. Okay, and now if I double click my set selection, you see I have my new selection here. Okay, this and this things, what is selected now, we want to bevel. So if you don't have the bevel deformer, just go to MS and bevel it a little bit. Here I see I have some problems. So go back with Control Z on your keyboard. Go in the point mode and first look that no point is selected. Then right click and optimize. So, and now an MS again. Here went something wrong. Let's see what's wrong here. Oh, I have two selections. See what's there. There is something wrong. Let's go back and see when it's happened. Okay, but until here it's everything fine. Okay. Here the cut is everything okay. Just try and bevel now, MS. Yeah, now it's okay. Back. Somehow we got problems here. It doesn't matter. We are here, so let's inner extrude this again. I know what we did. I forgot here. Only select visible elements. So if I select these guys here, I have selected here something too, because it goes straight through. Because I didn't check this. So be careful. It's good to see what's wrong. So if you have the same problems, you know how to fix it then. So and I don't cut this in the video here, in the tutorial. So you can learn with me with the mistake. Okay, now it's checked, and now I select these two, and now it's only these two polygons selected. So now inner extrude, just a little bit for the hard edge. Let's say something a little bit. Let's turn back. There's again something. Yeah. I don't know, offset from 0.5 should be enough. Yeah, okay. Good. Now double click this selection. Of course, now we have our selection from before, so we have to again select the path. So go with path selection, path selection. Oops. Hold Shift on your keyboard. Select this path. Select this path. Whoop. So. And here the last one. Okay. Now again save this selection, so press set selection with the activated selection tag. Okay. And now we bevel again. MS on your keyboard. We want about 3 subdivisions, and let's say 2 centimeters. Enter. Okay. This is what you get when you do it without a deformer. And if you now take the subdivision, we get this nice shape here. Let's increase here the subdivisions in the editor too. So we have a nice smooth thing here. Everything looks great. But now for the people who have the subdivision, we have this bevel deformer. I go back to with Control Z until here, where it's no bevel. So we have this selection tag. Just take with the loft selected. Also it's the ring. Let's call it ring. With the ring selected, go to the bevel deformer and hold Shift on your keyboard so it becomes a child of this bevel, of this ring. Here I use angle I don't need. Normally it's not checked, it's just checked by me because I made here set another settings as default. So we don't need this. And down here is a selection slot. We just drag our selection tag in here. And now it bevels just on our selected edges. So and here we make 2 as before. And we have exactly the same now with this come on over to the tree, so we have exactly the same. But here the advantage is, of course, we can change the hardness, the sharpness of the edge, because if I go with an offset here, you see, I can do whatever I want afterwards. Good. But one thing is with this selection, with this bevel, let's render this extrude. You see here, I don't know if you see it in the video, you come closer. We have here a cut or something else, a break. This is a phone break. So you go in the bevel deformer, here in topology, you go just phone break rounding unchecked. And if we render it now, you see everything is smooth. Okay, that's the modeling. Here, yeah. Good so far. And now, here we could play, I think, with some settings. It looks not so nice. But here in the mid-ring, I think, or in the ending, let's go to uniform. Yes, see, mid-ring uniform. Now we have a much nicer mesh, much better mesh. Yes, that's for the modeling. So maybe we should save this. Good. Let's save this thing. I save everything with assets, so I can provide it then to download with everything, with every HDRI and everything. So save project with assets. I go to my desktop. Here, see, jewelry, ring thing. Okay. And now we continue with texturing and lighting. Normally I light everything with, almost everything, not everything, with the HDRI Studio from GSG, from Grayscale Gorilla. But if you don't have it, so I'll show you another way. With the free plugin, with the sIBL loader. But at first we need a floor. let's take a disk, make it, of course, make it bigger, T on your keyboard, and scale it up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, here. Then we go in the, let's go in the side view, take our ring, E on the keyboard for moving, R for something like this, then E again. But now I want not to move it like this. So I go here and go to the coordinate system and to the world system, so I can drag it down. Should be okay like this. Good. So this will be our render, something like this. Okay, so take a camera, activate it, and right click and give it a protection tag, so we can't move this anymore. Save everything. So now for the floor we make it just a simple texture. Double click here in this area, you get a new texture. I just want a color. I don't want more than a color. Oh, let's say make a gradient, maybe I need it later. We'll see. Here's circular, and invert the dots. Right click in this gradient and invert dots. And this make it a little lighter. So I get a kind of vignette effect. Okay. This we drag on our disk. So the next thing is we need a silver material. So double click, call it silver, and in the R17 we have the reflectance channel. I think it's since the R17 or R16, I don't know now. So I don't need any color. I go my reflectance, delete this default specular, nobody needs it. Take JGX, yeah, that's my favorite. Here I just go to 10% roughness, nothing, and to the Fresnel I take a conductor, and of course I choose silver. That's my silver material. Let's call this floor. So then I copy the silver material, so I just click on it and hold the control key and drag it. So I copied it. Call it gold. Not clot. What's a clot? Gold. And here the only thing we have to do is in the reflectance channel, Fresnel from silver to gold. That's the whole secret. Now we need a selection for our gold material. So we just deactivate this. For now we can, yeah, that's easier. I make a backup of my subdivision surface here, of this whole thing. So make a new null object. Where is the null object here? Doesn't matter. Control G. Alt G. What's wrong with me? I'm pressing the F and not on the. Come on. Yeah, of course. One null is enough. Alt G is for a null object. Control G is in Photoshop. So, and throw this null object I don't want to see, call it backup, and control, drag it in, so that we have a copy here. And here I want this ring. Now I know it's everything like I want it. I go right click and make current state to object. So I can delete this thing with the bevel and have this ring. So it's easier now to select, to make selections for the materials. Okay, this selection tag we don't need anymore. Now deactivate our camera so we can work with it. Now we go in the polygon mode. Let's select this. Now we make a selection for our code material. So we selected these 2 polygons, and now we can grow these selections with U and Y on your keyboard. Or you go to select, and somewhere you have grow selections, U, Y. So press U, Y on your keyboard, U, Y, again U, Y, again U, Y, again U, Y. So now it looks like we... Oh no, I think I have a better way for this. Of course I have a better way. Make UL for loop selection. Just loop this one. And now take these 2 polygons with shift on your keyboard and add these 2 polygons. And now UF for fill selection on your keyboard, and here shift and click and you have filled the selection you need. So now that's much easier than the UI. Okay. So, and now we want to save this selection, so press on set selection. Here we have our selection tag, call it gold. So, now we can put our silver on the ring, then our gold on the ring, but in the gold texture we drag this selection tag in here, so it's just on our selected polygons. So now we go to the render settings. They should be here, yes. Make here a very low setting for the first render. So I will make physically is okay, progressive, everything okay. Then I want ambient occlusion. We don't have transparency, so it's okay here. And I want GI, global illumination. And here I don't like the irradiance cache, I would take quasi Monte Carlo. And the samples I make custom count of 16. Okay. And the output 800 for 450, so it's 16 to 9, it's okay. But if I render now, we should see nothing. So let's make it should render quite fast. So make it like this and render it. Okay, what I said, we should see nothing. That's why. It's because I have global illumination, but we have no light. So we need some light, and for this we take an HDRI. So now our plugin comes. It's the sIBL loader here. It's a free plugin, of course, link in the description. Click it, and here we have a lot of HDRIs we can use. We can use something of these nature things here, or I have some studios too. And I want to take this studio here. You will then have this HDRI in the texture folder, so you can use it too. Okay, here's everything okay, and apply it. So now we should see something. So hit render, so Shift R on your keyboard, and look what we get. It's almost magic. So easy it can be. It looks like a wow. Okay, but now I want some reflections on the floor. Stop it, yes. So we go in on a floor material, reflectance channel. Don't need it, so GGX. Here, I take a Fresnel, dielectric, asphalt, is nice. Nope, nope. Then here, make something like 50, why not? And blurriness of 20. Let's see what we get. Okay, we see here. It comes. Yeah, we have. Let's make a better render, so go in our render settings. And we make now a new render setting, so just go here, right click on this my render settings, or double click it and say this is low. And now right click on it and new child. And this we'll call middle. And don't forget, if you activated this, it doesn't render with these settings. Only you have selected here this small square. Then it renders with these settings. So, and for the middle, I want, let's say, physical and adaptive, automatic, 20, let's say 10. Oh, let's use 20 for this time. Okay, and render it now. Let's see what we get. Okay, I have a second machine now for the tutorial reason, so it renders of course a little faster. So this is a team render with a second 24 thread. So yeah, we have here nice, smooth. Maybe we want a little more reflection. Go back to our floor. So let's see here 10. Render again. Yeah, now we see more of this reflection. This you can do then however you want. I think it was better with the. Come on, I think it was better with the 20. Here, okay, and now what did I? Yeah, I think the reflections could be better in the ring. So here it looks a little boring with the reflections, but this is you can deactivate your camera for a moment. And if you go down, you see we have this HDRI here in the background. And I want that the lights here comes here. So just take your sIBL set, R on your keyboard and rotate it a little bit. Something like this. Go back to your camera. And now we render again. Let's see the difference. Is this? Yeah. You see here now we have nice reflections in it. Before we had almost no reflections. It looks much better now. But you can try it. Just take it and rotate it a little bit more. Render again. You can get quite different renders just with rotating the HDRI. Yeah, I think it looks better. Better again. Yeah. Nicer. Okay. Now I will pause a little bit this video and make a nicer render. So One moment. So I'm back, and now we have this render. Looks really nice, I think. Yeah? And now we can take this render and we can refine it a little bit in Photoshop too. And I decided to show you this too, why not? So let's save this thing. Save as Photoshop 16-bit channel. Okay, desktop we had somewhere. Ring thing, render. Okay, save it. Then go to Photoshop. Open. Desktop. Ring thing. Render. Okay. Okay, that looks a little small because I have another layout here, but it doesn't matter. So let's make a smart object out of this. I have a shortcut for this, but you can right click and in smart object, it's German now, but convert to smart object. So, and now we go to the filter and to the camera raw filter. Okay, that's a little big for the, so, yep, 100%. Here we can play with the clearness, or whatever called it. So, then for this grainy thing here, we have luminance, Rauschreduzierung. I don't know. I forgot to put it to set it to English. Sorry, but a little bit. So something like that. Okay, and the new thing is this one. Okay, and here before, after. I think it looks quite good, huh? Yeah. Okay. Let's save this as ring thing post. Okay. That's for this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. I hope you liked it. And as I said, you will find everything in the description, every link you need and everything you want. If you have questions or suggestions what tutorial I should do next, just write in the comments and I will, if I can help or if I can do something, I will do. I promise. So, have a nice day and hope you see you again. And yeah, and good learning or whatever. Much fun. Bye bye, your Nico.